As expected, something is going down. Alex Ansary here, focused. It's the first day of October 2024. Welcome to your October surprise. 2024 is the year of the solar maximum. So is 2025. What does that mean? If you've been watching me for years, you know my perspective on things. Civil unrest, rapes, assaults, beatings, couples attacked, wars, people being lit on fire, people lighting themselves on fire, people doing drugs, suicides, hit and runs, road rage, ragers, increased violence, right? Increased violent content online, increased nasty behavior from people. Okay. So the goal is to do more of these geopolitical reports with less of my side talk. All right. Now I have lots of videos discussing women's safety, women throwing away good men. That's not going to be the primary when we do these news reports. Okay. So we're going to start with just a few minutes of live footage.
It can leave behind. If we look back to Iran
I was
launching
feeling this in my gut.
about 120 ballistic
here.
missiles and dozens of cruise missiles and hundreds of drones back in April.
Okay.
We were saying 99% of those were intercepted. Our Martha Raddatz also telling us that as well. Now Iran expected to carry out 2 waves here and launch 240 to 250 missiles. Aiming at 4 targets there in Israel, including Mossad headquarters and 3 air bases. Let's talk about, although we want to remind folks when Iran launched those missiles last time around and 99% of them were intercepted, we are talking about double this time around and 2 waves.
I think it's safe to say
the potential for
about
damage
getting
is
water
much
and
more
food.
significant. The biggest concern is the swarming factor, right? If they fire a lot of them at once, Israel's air defenses are incapable of handling, of filtering through all of the missiles. Had they fired maybe 200 at once, it would have been an even bigger threat. But still, salvos of several.
Now we're going to be going back in this report, and we're going to be showing you the solar report so that you understand that the solar activity is increasing and that you understand that this is a subject of my book. We're going to be going back to the report. It's still playing now. I can still hear the reporter. Peak northern light activity coming soon. What to know as the sun reaches solar maximum. Okay? So this is synchronized with the world events, but the people are naive. The people are naive. And so this is what we're seeing in the skies when we go to war. And this is what happened during World War II. I mean, this is scientifically backed. This is fact. This is not theory. All right? Over here, the U.S. raises alarm over China's secretive emergency loans, calls for greater transparency. And this has to do with what China's been doing for a long time, is loaning money around the world. Now, you just saw a flash, an ad, and that ad has to do with what I'm talking about with this programming for the sexualization of the females, humanoid females with the elf ears, okay? So you need to see Sufi realities and how there's a parallel in what he is saying and what I am saying about the things that are to come, all right? That our world, for more than a few years, is going to be dealing with invading monsters of some kind. I know it sounds ridiculous, like something from a horror film, but there's really, I think, a natural reason why people have interest in those things. We'll go back to this footage Again, this is breaking, and I knew it
when they do impact
in
here.
my bones
Again,
that it was
the
time.
Israelis have the ability to knock these kinds of
start
missiles
reporting
down.
on
It
this
just depends
full
on
time.
how many are incoming. They're very expensive to have a ballistic missile defense, and so the numbers are limited. So we'll see how many gotten through. They also have the ability to look
Keep in
and
mind,
see
this
where
is
the
happening as
impact
we're
would be
approaching the eclipse.
anticipated. So if a ballistic missile was going to land in what they knew was an unpopulated area, the computer within the firing unit would say, "Oh, I'm not going after that one because I know it's going to land harmlessly." So they have the ability to have that discrimination about whether a missile is going to have an impact either directly or near an air base. I think, Kerry, it's very important to understand here that this is a capability that's very expensive. It's very complex. The Israelis have it because a lot of it has been co-developed with the U.S. The Iranians have nothing. So when the Israelis come to retaliate, and however they do, the Iranians will have no defense against this kind of attack. Israel has all sorts of types of missiles, the same munitions that the Iranians have, even better. And so when the retaliatory attack by Israel onto Iran comes, it will be a very, very different outcome because the Iranians just do not have.
So this is going to be a report like no other. The way that I report is going back and forth between the cosmic news, the news about the solar flares, the news about the moon cycles, and then the news about the unrest. Do you understand? I'm mixing it together. Now, sun grazer comet may be as bright as Venus and visible in daylight. Okay, that is in the last day. And that's what we're going to see in the coming months. And so that's going to be also affecting us vibrationally. Here again, look to the ads now and start paying more attention at how there is an attack on men. Pay attention to the ads also, not just the news. Look at the sexualization of the non-humanoid people coming to Earth to fuck us up. I mean, I'm having like almost borderline visions of this shit. There's going to be an invasion of the Earth and demonic forces coming into male and female forms, bro. And we're coming back. We're showing you Sufi realities. Get the likes up. We're getting the reports coming. We're getting the news. Warn your kids. Fuck, shit's fucking going down. All right? It's fucking eclipse. October 2nd, 2024. All right? This shit's getting real. All right?
And ability to communicate eliminated. Is Iran in this fight against Israel alone?
Well, most of their proxies have been degraded to the point that they're truly ineffective. The Houthis have taken a punch in the nose from the Israelis that have quieted them for the past couple of days. We know what's going on in Gaza with Hamas. We know what's going on in Lebanon with Hezbollah. The Shia militias within Iraq have been quite quiet. And so what undoubtedly happened here is Iran felt that they had been humiliated and they had to respond in some way, knowing that Israel was
right in time for October 2nd, right? Right in time for the eclipse.
The Iranians are probably
Calm
preparing
reaction
for that.
solution.
I think what's interesting here is what Martha alluded to, and that is that the Israelis have discussed that this retribution will be against economic targets. When you hear that, and you hear it in reference to Iran, think oil. So the lifeblood of the Iranian economy, the lifeblood of the Iranian government, of the regime, is based on oil money. Who's the biggest consumer of that oil? China. So we're looking to, this is going to become a global issue here if the Israelis do, in fact, go after places like Karg Island.
I'm going to be going faster with these reports. I'm glad to see 7 people tuning in. This is our geopolitical report. This is October 1st. I still got the audio playing, so I can still hear what he's saying. Let's go back a few days. So you're often going to see me take you to xras.ru/en/magnetic_storms.html. And then you can take a look at that activity there. And then again, there's lots of stories about fireballs streaking over the United States. Looked at more articles to you now. Here we go, 27th and 26th, 25th. Here we go. Look at this. And we could see an increase in crazy world events. And then again, notice from me to you, I did a story on a lot of assaults increasing, but you didn't see the video. I always intend to show you video. So I'm going to be working on increasing the production quality without spending too much time on it
Our Ian
becoming
Panel
burned
in
out.
Beirut, our Steve Ganyard also with us from the military and security side of things. As we watch this overseas, there are concerns here at home. In enhanced security already taking place, we know, in New York City. Our Aaron Katursky has been talking with his sources here back in the U.S. What do we know, Aaron, as soon as it was announced that indeed Iran has started?
All right, here we go. CNN reporters forced to run for cover on live TV as Iran bombs Israel. I've been feeling this all day long as something was coming. I knew all day long that by 10 o'clock I'd be reporting on World War III news. I didn't know this was going to happen. I've been talking about relationships and booty shorts and eyelash mafia for months, bro, for months. I was trying to find love before war broke out. Oh, fuck, but scratch that plan. As Iran launched missiles in Israel on Tuesday, what might have been a retaliatory strike, several senior reporters who reporting on the strike on live TV were forced to run for cover as the missiles exploded around them. All right? Now, what's going on with this group? This Venezuela group.
That they need to do additional deployments around New York City, but they have been on this kind of alert level for weeks now because of what's been happening overseas and the concerns that it brings at home. In particular, they've been paying attention to what Matt Gutman's been reporting about some kind of an attack with a number of casualties coming outside of a subway system and maybe onto a bus. So the police here in this country are paying particular attention for any kind of copycats, Kira.
Steve Ganyard, let me take
exactly
that
what
to
I said what happened.
Firsthand experience. If we think
of
attacks that have happened across the country, there always is a fear back here at home that citizens of the United States.
Oh, we have to go back.
Alert here in the United States over the past year.
Folks, if they have false flags, they'll put people in camps. You know that, right?
Responding with regard to security, could we start to see this, say, at synagogues across the U.S.? As Aaron mentions, the high holiday. We're coming up on 1 year since the October 7th attack, and now Iran launching one of what we are told will be 2 waves of attacks into Israel.
Yeah, I think, times have changed.
We're now going to the article. Okay, so here's, I warn you about human trafficking mafia. For months, I've been screaming and shit. I've been having, like, you've seen what it's done to me, the stress of this reality. Okay, and then talking about these things, then feeling ignored, especially by women. This is just all leading up to something that I'm going to have to just stop this recording and just space this out, because this is getting fucking deep. Ads all over the place. We're just in ad reality where everyone and everything is for sale. Okay, so it is saying that this gang is trying to lure desperate women in the heart of the U.S., forcing them to sell their bodies on the streets of America to pay for high smuggling fees. Okay, at least 8 states have been seen an explosion in migrant prostitution since the gang laid down roots: Texas, Nevada, Illinois, California, Florida, Georgia, New Jersey, and New York. Okay, and then I've been telling you about, here we have a picture here. This is from Queens. Now, there is an increase in stories about prostitution happening in Queens. And then I've been telling you about the increase in stories about prostitution in Portland, Oregon, and then rapes in Portland, Oregon. And then also a woman gave birth to a baby. And then there's been an increase in couples being attacked. And then I've told you that robots are not our friends. AI is not our friends. AI promotes even really nasty AI-generated pornography in which violence, extreme murderous violence, is promoted. Basically, murderous cyborgs killing us. And so what you're seeing now is the downfall of society, and a lot of people aren't taking it seriously. A lot of women don't care about women. You understand? And that's bad. And so you have brothels, and I'm telling you that my mother left me for New York City. We need to talk to you about this, okay? And my mother has been living a secret life in New York City, and that's what it is, okay? No. This New York City and this reality is fucked up. And my life is way more fucked up than you understand. Okay. My ass was thrown fucking away. Okay. And so this is personal. The brutality towards women, this pimp Mac Daddy reality. I want to fuck these people up, man. Okay. There are people in this world that women worship, that beat women. That's why they're liked. And it's a fucking problem. All the time on the fucking radio, I'm hearing about Diddy. I'm hearing about this. These are very, very popular men with the ladies. Here we have a former president talking about grabbing that Gucci. I said I wasn't going to attack Trump, but I am sick of people even ignoring that shit. That's sexual assault. Everything about our fucking society is rapey, man, and it pisses me off. It's made it very difficult for me in this incarnation to find love and find respect because a lot of fucking people that came before me have fucked a lot of women up, including my fucking mother, and it's pissing me off, man. This shit's happening, bro. This shit's fucking happening. Portland, Oregon, woman told me at the bar, we don't need your protection warning about sex trafficking. We need protection from you. You think that was an isolated attitude incident? Answer the question via email today, please. You will not. It's okay. I'll answer it for you. It's not an isolated incident. Women in this society can't handle the criticism about them shaking that ass. And they're living in a world in which sex trafficking is being promoted and brutality against women is being promoted. And they're not with it. And I have theories about what's going on with this, but we are really screwed up psychologically and war is coming. I am scared for you. For all of you men that have pretty daughters, I am scared for you. For many, many years, I have worked for you full time in hopes that God would bless me from the day that would come when these horrible things happen. That's why I've been doing it, guys. Okay? I want to evolve beyond the earth. There's no way that I can become rich and popular with the ladies doing what I'm doing. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm shaking right now. This is scary. This is scary. This is coming in the next year. This war, this conflict, the potential for disruption in the United States via foreign agents. And then you have people retaliating by design in the United States against different groups or personalities. Okay. And so we are entering into that era. And then I come to find out that Portland, Oregon has pornography being created there where they mimic the deaths of women. And nobody gives a shit. You understand what I'm saying? So we're a couple of minutes into this. We can go back, but you need to understand that all this has been set up for people to fall into these traps. Okay. Now that war is being set up, everybody's programmed. Before they struck that Hamas leader, I had an image of his mind in my head. You know what I mean? And then it happened. And I've joked about them, hypothesized about them, creating a false flag, blaming it on Iran to start World War III. We're going to have to move forward from that story on the Venezuelans. Now, it's very important that people connect the dots. Because as that's happening, we have entire Florida town wiped off map by hurricane. Okay, just real quick, looking at that. 130 dead. Okay, so solar maximum, supernova, comet flybys, and staged events. Likely even the supposed attempted assassinations on Donald Trump. It's all building for something in a couple days. It's all building for the 15th of October, maybe. Now, these are pictures. These are pictures of the. We're jumping around here. These are pictures of fights at a hotel in Texas around El Paso, where this gang has set up a brothel. Also, New York. So I have had my awareness looking closely at signs of organized human trafficking gangs rising in the United States, and we've seen the rise in cartel activity, which we know they're working with the Chinese at least, and the distribution of fentanyl in the United States, okay? So here we're looking at this erupting in the news right as we're about to experience World War III. And so it's like these folks are sleeper agents or something. And there's a dark potential for this to kick off even more racism within the United States. This happened, this very riot that was filmed, by the way, happened when there were solar flares. And I went on the George Norrie show, Coast to Coast AM, and talked about a whole plethora of predictions, okay, and was requested by Lisa Lyon of that show to not talk about my Red Dawn Russian invasion theories, to not go there, to not take my conspiracies there. And I did not get a chance to finish the radio show. So I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but, you know, I've been warning about this stuff for a long time, and it sure seems like this conspiracy theory movement loves trash and shit, QAnon and shit, fake news and shit, while real bread and butter. And the really scary, most terrifying thing about the conspiracy movement is that people don't have any checks and balances. The Alex Jones fans of the world, the Donald Trump fans of the world, they're not doing data and research. They're not going, hey, this guy Alex has been on the cutting edge for fucking years, bro. Why doesn't Mr. Jones know about this dude? And that's what you need when you get pissed about this. You need to wake up and realize I'm your bro. I'm the guy. I'm the guy who's been talking about this shit for fucking years. China, Russia, solar flares, human trafficking, and it's fucking happening. Now answer me this, tough guy. Why did my life have to be shit for the last 10 years? You and I should have been clicking beers and shit and partying the night away. Okay? A lot of you thought I was a fucking short dork for years, and it pisses me off. And you know it's the truth. I don't at all think you like me. Not for a second, Sherlock. And I know I'm right about what's coming. I don't at all think you like me. And I know I'm right about what's coming. That is unsettling to the body. I've warned you for a long ass time about this shit. I've warned you about white supremacy, making white people look bad. I've warned you about Nazism being used against white women in the future. And so what am I seeing now? 2045, they announce you're going to leave off grid. You're going to give us your land, and you're going to do OnlyFans, and you're going to go back into the city, and you will take the commandments from the Dajjal, from the flat screens. And this punishment that's coming to the souls that are left behind on earth is not going away after a few fucking years. We experience a little bit of paradise. This type of hell that's going to be created on earth with the monsters with the scary ears that will come and devour us like a delicacy. Oh, man. It's coming. And society had so many ways in which it could have been compassionate. All right. So you need to understand that it's time to get right with God. We're going to be back shortly. Take care. All right. We all need to get right for God. We're going to be back with more updates.